Hello everyone, and welcome to the Siege Online Racing Split 1 race. I am your host, Justin, that racer, also known as Justin, and today we're going to be having a bit of fun in Canada. Right. Let me turn down my audio real quick. I always forget to do that. Not sure why. Right. So here we are, Canada. One of my favorite tracks. For a number of reasons. One, because I'm really quick at it. And because it's also very exciting to watch. So, right before we go along the actual game itself, or the race itself, turn up the audio, will do. Turn up to this. Right. Okay, hello everyone. Now we got everything set up. The race winner of last time was Windy, so you might want to keep an eye on him. He might be very, very quick through here. We never know. So heading through the Wall of Champions, he will start his flying lap. Want to get a good exit there. It's like that you get a good DRS exit across the line. He keeps quite a tight line that will cost him a bit of time though. Here into fourth gear, use as much as the curb as you can here. Go wide first gear I should say, sorry. And run out nice and wide there. Almost loses back end there. McLaren almost in the way. Here down to fourth gear. Want to use as much of the track as possible there as well. Around to finish sector 1, heading onto the very easy to lose the back end corner, especially on the worn tires. It's very easy to slip there. On the second DRS straight here on the track, KK Hunter there getting in the way a tiny bit. Here down into fourth gear, want to use as much of this track as you can, but don't want to use too much because it's really easy to get an invalidated lap. Right, heading into sector 3, the first hairpin on this track, probably the tightest hairpin in the track as well. Heading onto the third and final DRS straight, the main straight, I guess you could say, before entering the Wall of Champions. Now, no one has died of the Wall of Champions just yet, but the fastest time is a 1 minute 10.4 by Cosman. He crosses the chicane by the Wall of Champions, comes across the final line to be the first person to set an early 1:08. Now that is actually a pretty quick lap indeed there, 1:08, but his teammate once again getting the better of him. We saw last time in Monaco how much these two fought. Right, so now that we see that these two are pretty much neck and neck, we will have to see what the rest of the race holds us, as the Inaudible Gamer joins them in the 108s clan alongside Yasin. So these top 4 really quick. The podium last time around was Windy in P1 due to Ruthless having a time penalty. So he finished second place, and then I'm pretty sure we had Yasin in third position, or it was Yasin. So pretty quick guys here. Lucas saying the worst time here was a 1:29. Not sure if something bad happened there, but we'll have to see. We have a yellow flag, but that's probably nothing wrong there. So okay, never mind. So the slowest time, if you don't count Luca's time, because he probably did something bad there, is a 1 minute 10.4, which is still arguably pretty quick if he is running assists, that is. I'm not sure if everyone here does not have assists. I know Pixel uses Racing Line, so he's on his out lap as well. Actually, Luca retires from the session, so he won't be able to set a proper lap, and will most likely finish in 20th place. Or in qualifying, finish 20th place, I should say. So the two racing points of Windy and Ruthful dominating the 108s. Especially Ruthful, we might be able to see an early 107. We never know, but we will have to see. More yellow flags. Right, so personally, I think the optimal strategy here is softs until lap 8/lap 9 if you really want to push them, and then the medium cup-out tires until lap, I believe it is 25, 26, and then softs the rest up until lap 39, which is the final lap, I believe. Or it's 36, 38. I'm not sure how many laps there are in Canada. I already forgot. But there's 30 something. As we see, Ingenio actually getting a really slow exit there. We'll compromise him a tiny bit. So we will go through him. We'll go into broadcast. We'll have to see what his lap time will be. Polar Haze actually is, I believe, already forgot his previous username, but he's that Haas driver that we all know. Lewis Badminton, who really had a poor race last week, is in a provisional P7 for now. So Ozone Ruthful is actually on an out lap now, so we will want to keep an eye out on him. I don't know if that's him just ahead, but we have to see. Currently, Ingenio seems to be on a pretty good lap, and I do know that this guy is pretty quick when it comes to Canada. Never raced against him in Canada, but we'll have to see what his race pace is here. So he's already entering the 1 minute times. I like to enter the 1 minute times just entering the chicane there of Wall of Champions. As he does hit the Wall of Champions, actually, that will cost him a bit of time crossing the line, heading he does improve, but he doesn't move up the order on the left. He set a 1 minute 8.5, but it was most likely invalidated. Because on the left it hasn't updated, but if it wasn't 1 minute 8.5, that would put him into P3. So the Inaudible Gamer is now coming across the line, and he puts himself into P2 with a 1 minute 8.684. Just almost that's actually only, how much is that? That's a 12 thousandths of a second. Not sure what you want to call that, but I think it's 12 thousandths. So in the pits, provisional P4, looking very good. So people going on the medium compound tires now is I can't move from this guy. Hold on. Oh, he is actually missing a front wing, R10, is he? He's missing a right end plate there, yeah. Must have hit something. I presume he'll be entering the pits now because he's already entering the 1 minute timer, which is not a good sign. Right, so I should probably check Ozone. Ozone did not improve by the looks of things. Windy did not improve either by the looks of things. So we'll be a pretty tight end. There's still 7 minutes and 50 seconds left of this session, so we'll have to see what these drivers can manage to pull off. Ozone and Windy and the Inaudible Gamer are currently in a league of their own, it seems, in Canada. Especially considering the fact that they're the only drivers to set 1 minute 6s and underneath. But Ozone Ruthful is really in a league of his own. He's 4 tenths clear of the second place of the Inaudible Gamer. So really interesting to see what exactly happens. Is actually Windy goes on the medium compound tires. From what we can see, we switch to medium compound tires in the pits. So will we see him improving from that 108.6 on the medium compound tires? We will have to see. But that's actually Lewis Badminton there in the background. I thought he was gonna finish his lap, so I thought I'd make it interesting. But someone who is finishing a lap is DS. Actually, no, he's not finishing a lap. He's going to start his lap. He set a 1 minute 9.7, so he did set a lap there, I think. On the left, it did say out lap, so he's definitely going for it. You can tell. I think DS uses a controller by the looks of things. It's a controller, or it's a... Oh, actually, wait, hold on. That's Cosmin, who's hit the wall of champions. Let's go over to the next driver to pass him. Is Polar Haze. You can barely see him there in the corner. He's disappeared, but he has Cosmin hit the wall of champions, and as a result, we'll put him into provisional P19 ahead of Luca if R10 sets a better lap. And he gets out the way of Windy here, actually, who is going on his out lap. Might want to check him out. So I don't know if he'll be able to improve from his 108.6 on these medium compound tires, but we will have to see. Right, so he crosses the line, and for a time there on the top right, seems very close. Ooh, he loses the back end there quite a lot. I don't think that's good for his time. He's using all the track. He taps that corner there. Just a little kiss gets him a bit of more aerodynamics here. He's actually quicker by 0.03 of a second heading into the sector 2, losing the back end all over the place here. These tires aren't warmed up, it seems. Heading into the quick right and left hander, really easy to get and validate the lap off of this. So we will have to see what he does entering sector 2. He's actually 0.2 quicker on these medium compound tires. Wow. Personally, me on the softs, I'd set a 109.5, and I was happy with that. But these guys are saying 1 minute 8 points provisional freeze using the medium compound tires. So really, if Windy can pull this off, but I don't know if that's invalidated lap or not, but if he can pull this off, he will be good strategy wise, and we'll see he crosses the line and actually takes P2 in this qualifying on the medium compound tires. So that's really good for him, because Ruthful is the only person ahead of him, his teammate actually, and on those worn soft compound tires he will struggle quite a bit compared to these fresh mediums that Windy currently possesses. So it will be very interesting to see how these strategies pan out, because Windy will easily be able to overtake Ruthful, because these tires are really only, compared to the softs, these tires are probably brand new fresh when Windy starts his lap, or when he starts his when he actually starts this thing. So it's as if Windy will be wearing fresh softs. That's what I'm trying to say. In the eyes of Ruthful, that's how quick he'll be with these mediums. So really good for Windy. I'm surprised he managed to improve on these on these medium compound tires compared to softs. Actually, that's Pixel who takes his P2 by not much, but he does. So I think that's Windy done with his qualifying session, and Pixel being able to take P2 from his from Windy 301. Now we see the Inaudible Gamer, who will want to reclaim his P3 back, most likely. So we will have to see exactly what he does throughout this race. Oh, he taps the off champions there. Yep, that's. I think he got front wing damage there. Let's see. Did he get front wing damage? Yes, he did. His right little end plate there is missing, so he's gonna have to get back to the pits really quickly now, because he only has 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Yes, going around here is 1 minute 14 seconds when going super slowly, but if this is his last set, he will want to go calmly around, and he will want to get out at least when that timer top left says 1 minute 20. He now has a solid minute to get in the pits, get his front wing changed, and then get out. He cuts that corner there just so he can make it to the end, I presume. We'll have to see if that's legal or not doing that, if he does improve on his time. So Windy now, I believe, is going to come out. Actually, the Inaudible has left the session. Don't know if that's a DC or a rage quit. We'll hope for him that he comes back in time. Or what he did was he probably left and would expect to come out in the pits, because that's clearly how it seems to be. But if he doesn't come out for before 1 minute 10, he's kind of screwed. So we'll have to see if he comes back. Right, so actually going on to one. Actually, Windy setting. Okay, so he's setting his quickest time on the mediums just in case if the soft run does not go well, he will have his quickest time on the medium compound tires. So we'll have to see. So the Inaudible Gamer does rejoin now, but we'll have to see if he comes back. And actually, also Ruthless improves his time by 0.02 of a second. So I don't think the Inaudible Gamer, his strategy there of leaving the game and coming back has worked for him, because now he has a minute to go around. I doubt he'll be able to make it. So I think what he should have done is just, you know, made his way around, because he would have made it in time. But now he's kind of cost himself there. So now he's in provisional P4. That's if Yasin, Impact, Maple, Polar. It's actually really only Yasin he should be afraid of, because Impact doesn't seem to be aching those 1 minute 10s actually as it goes into the pits. So really it's just Yasin there, and he's on the lap. So right, let's see Windy. He is going to come across the line on the soft compound tires, and we will see what his time will be. Staying into the first sector here, use as much of the curve as possible. He keeps it really tight. Don't lose the back end. Okay, doesn't lose the back end too much, but still does lose the back end. So comparing on his medium arm, he did lose the back end quite a bit there. So will we see him improving on his past time? He does by a solid 10th. So if he keeps this up, he might be able to snatch that. Oh, and he loses the back end so badly there. I think that could be his time ruined, but we will have to see. He completely cuts that corner, and I think that could be a potential retirement. Actually, Polar Haze getting out of his way. He is only 0.07 of a second slower on his time, so if he does get a really good Wall of Champions chicane, we might see something happen. See Maple retiring there from the session. Paximax crossing line, or not Paximax, Paxi Amanda will cross the line. Or okay, maybe not, I'm looking at someone else. But he does get a really nice Wall of Champions chicane run, and does he improve? Yes, he does, to snatch P2 away from Pixel. So we will see a 1-2 by the Racing Points, unless if Paxi Amanda manages to pull off a second off of his time, which is not going to be the case. He boxes. Polar Haze ran out of fuel. Oh no, he's getting out the way for David. Oh, actually, wait, David, you finished. So he crosses the lane. Yeah, doesn't do anything different. So we see Polar Haze, the final runners. So your top three are Ozone Ruthful, Windy, Pixel, the Inaudible Gamer, David, Ingenio, Yasin, Impact, R10, Paxi Mana, Maple, Polar Haze, GC Fungus, KK Hunter, Loose Badminton, Fox, DS, SOR Futuristic, Cosmin 62, and HTAR Luca, who did not set a proper time. So once again, the two Racing Points seemingly to be the fastest here by, well, Ozone Ruthless 2/10, and Windy by a 10th-ish from Pixel. So the two Racing Points, I don't know what their strategy is, but they seem to have good setups, and it's working out for them. Got 500 XP there from spectating. The Inaudible Gamer actually left the session, so don't know what happened there. As we see, they are really close to each other. So everyone is on the soft compound tires, I believe, except Loose Badminton currently, and potentially everyone 11th and down. I'd say if you could, guys, go on fresh softs or go on fresh mediums, and do mediums, medium softs, or mediums, softs, mediums. But if I were you guys, I'd pick medium, medium softs. So we will have to see what exactly. We will have to see exactly what happens. Oh, it's a wet start. Ooh. 1 second, guys. Right. Oh, Maple has left the session. So will we see a lobby restart? We'll have to see. Maple has left the session. So I don't know if that means that we will restart. Everyone's leaving. So yeah, we will have a restart. That is unfortunate. Don't know why we're having a restart. Right. So it looks like with the restart, we will get the starting grid done. I presume it's because the Inaudible Gamer crashed. I will check real quick, 1 second.
I mean, he invites me.
Right, so it looks like we are finally going to be restarting. Right, so here we are. So we have a wet start and then a dry end to the race. Should be pretty exciting and entertaining. So the start won't be as entertaining, obviously, because it'll be half as slow as the dries would be, but it's still pretty entertaining nonetheless. So we have to see, did he set heavy rain or inters? No, it looks like he sent it to intermediate tire conditions, meaning light-ish rain. See all the mechanics there on the left looking at the screens, praying that their drivers win. So currently right now the racing points seem to be in the best position of Ruthful and Windy. So right, everyone ready to line up? All the mechanics please move aside. We have 15 seconds. Just all imagine them moving to the side. Right. And then we see the 1 light, the 2 lights, 3 lights, the 4 lights, the 5 lights. And it's formation lap time. So here we go for the formation lap. So we'll get the interval. We'll get the tires. So everyone's on the inters. Luckily. We'll put to see what's the position change looking like if we started the race, because we know what tires they're on, and we will know what tires they're on for a while due to obvious reasons. Ruthful is really putting it into these corners. I'm personally worried that he spins it out. See a yellow flag actually. What has happened back here? It's actually 3 drivers have been put back to the pits, or not pits, but back to the grid. That's what I mean. It's another yellow flag. HTA or Luca there. Ruthful, I'm really kind of worried that he spins out here. So right, so if it continues to rain, I'd say probably will stop raining around lap 8. I'd say people would want to go to the mediums and then go to, say, probably lap 25-ish, 26 on the mediums, and then go to softs. Or if they want to get a quick getaway, softs to mediums. But they all have fresher tires now since qualifying didn't exist. And there seems to be a casual yellow flag always happening there, so that might be annoying for us. Alright, so now they're being automatically driven into their correct starting grids. Right. So, Ruthful currently having to defend from Windy, Pixel, and the Inaudible Gamer, currently all sitting times within 4/10 of each other. We'll have to see what exactly happens. Right. So here we are for the Canadian Grand Prix. We see 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out for the Canadian Grand Prix. Ruthful gets a pretty okay start. Blocks the inside and actually forces his teammate wide there. And that's actually the Renault who takes of Pixel, taking out Windy. Oh, that is terrible. Windy getting a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. Oh no. Pixel there completely ramming into the back of the poor driver of Windy. That's going to be his race most likely ruined, as we see these two going side by side, R10 and GC Fungus. But now Maple under pressure from GC Fungus, goes for a big dive bomb and gets 2 positions there, gets Yasin alongside. Or will he get Yasin? No, yes he will. So currently now the driver who's lost out the most now is Maple, who has actually spun it at the back, meaning that he'll be down into last place. And actually Luca looking to climb up the ladder and actually cuts that corner completely. And Polarize or Futuristic coming out behind. So really disappointing race there for Windy. Windy's start hasn't been the best, but Pixel actually getting front wing damage from all that. So go to the front now. Ozone already on a 1.2 second gap to the leader. So Windy now trying to fight back these positions, cuts that corner. Do keep in mind he does have a 10-second time penalty already, Windy. So it's going to be very bad for him. Very, very costly. There's a yellow flag. Actually, that's someone who's hit the wall of champions. That is the driver of Futuristic, who backs it up and goes into the pits with a pretty chaotic start. But it seems to be another yellow flag here heading into turn 1. We see a Cosmin losing the back end there quite a bit, and a move almost no Paximanda looking down the inside, and Artek completely cuts that corner. Surprised he did not get a 3-second time penalty, but oh, he's actually hit R10 and he's sent him into the wall. Oh no. And Cosmin has retired from this race. Cosmin retires after hitting. Oh, he's actually lost his tire completely there, Cosmin. And this is safety car who comes out, and that's R10 bouncing all over the place. So we kind of need a safety car after that pretty horrendous start there from everyone, if I may be honest, except for the top 3 currently. The Inaudible Gamer, David, and Ozone Ruthless didn't get to experience any of that. So picks it with a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting there. So really the driver that gained the most is Luca, who's already into P10. The driver who's lost the most is Pixel, who started P3 and rammed the back of Windy there into turn 1, as we saw. So then we see the position change. We'll go onto the tires, and that will be that. So R10 really getting bullied there, getting tapped once and then tapped again, heading into Sector 2. Very unfortunate indeed, but I guess as Kavia would say, that's racing, bro. Unfortunate indeed, but hey, we'll have to hope that he comes back. I don't doubt that he'll come back. Pixel, he's a pretty quick guy. But Windy now currently in a terrible position with a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting. When he gets hit out, I'm pretty sure he will want to appeal that, and R10, after getting hit in the back, will retire from the session. So the safety car will most likely come in entering lap 5. So after this lap it should come in. Fox with a 3-second time penalty there for corner cutting. Actually under safety car conditions. Hold on. Right, so while this happens, I'll get the chat on my phone to recharge. It's really losing a bit of battery. Actually, someone went in the pits there. It's actually Fox. So we won't be restarting this lap, I'd say. Loose Badminton getting a 10-second time penalty there for exceeding track limits. So it's very unfortunate there for Windy being a. There's actually a safety car in this lap, so Fox now 42 seconds behind the clan. Will regret boxing there for fresh intermediates. Very unfortunate dead, and actually Fox gets a 10-second time penalty there. I presume he's corner cutting his way, trying to come back. So will we see him catch up a bit? He might be at the hairpin once these guys get going again. Ruthful backing the pack up. That was actually a really good image there that we saw. And off he goes there, Ruthless. Actually, Badminton gets a severe collision there. So we're down, and we're at, everyone's getting 3-second time penalties. Actually, that's someone who spun there at the back. That is the, it was no one. This is really close together. So far, so good. And actually, that's a move from Yasin on Impact, or Paximanda, I think. So Fox really 20 seconds behind it, pit stop behind these guys. Unless if he does manage to get a really good I guess catch up in lap times, I think that's Fox out of contention for the win, unless if there's an R safety car. Indeed, unless if there's an R safety car. We'll have to see. A nice tire angle there. Turning right, heading into the hairpin. Ozone Ruthless definitely getting a good restart there, and actually that's SOR, or the Inaudible Gamer, that locks up quite heavily there. Gonna go through everyone, going through the wall of champions, and yes, it almost hits that, almost loses the back end there. Ooh, we might see a move there. Pixel on the back end of DS and Luca as well. Will we see him go for the big boy dive bomb? No, he stays cautious. Actually, Luca gets a really poor one there. And DS, what? Okay, this happens again. Interesting there. We saw that in Monaco as well, but not with the same pair of drivers. Ooh, DS gets a really bad run. Pixel all over the back end of DS. Will we see him go for a move down the inside here, heading into the first turn of Sector 2? No, he won't. But DS does get a really bad run. He actually seemed to be struggling on his intermediate conditions, but he does get a better run than Pixel. Will we see him go for a move down the inside here, heading into the third corner of Sector 2? No. But he seems to be much quicker than DS. And David already falling back of Ruthful, who is already 2 seconds behind him. So DS lagging all over the place, and actually goes through both Pixel and Luca. Luca losing the back end there. So Pixel will most likely get a better run heading into the Wall of Champions chicane. But it seems that DS is keeping his pace and actually teleporting in front. So will we see Pixel going for a move down the inside? No. DS is getting much better runs here on the straight. So I'd say we'll have to get back to that. But in the meantime, the battle for second place here in between the Inaudible Gamer and David seems to be an intriguing one, as the Inaudible Gamer seems to be much quicker than David. Knocks up the rears there quite a bit. So Fox is managing to catch up. Instead of being 20 seconds, is now only 19.7 behind Kiki Hunter. He outbreaks himself, but really locking up in these conditions doesn't really matter too much. And actually, that's Fox who's lost the back end there, and did all of his work. Actually, we almost see Futuristic going on move on Maple here. Getting a crap ton of a wheel spin compared to David, but he will get the move done heading into the World Champions. Oh no, these guys will be going side by side heading into these two quarters. That's never a good sign. And we see a little tap, and SOR is forced to cut the corner and will lose that position to David, and now seems to be under pressure by Whitney, who is now right behind these two and has a front row seat to a potential P2 2 because these guys are battling, and the Inaudible Gamer does have a 3-second time penalty, but I do remind you guys, Windy does have a 10-second time penalty. Actually, as we see these two change positions, the two sister teams of Red Bull and Toro Rosso, now known as AlphaTauri, are now fighting each other for P8, and actually Paxi Meta, what a move there, but he won't let that go impact that easily. That was a really good move there for Paxi Meta if he manages to stick it, and yes, he will. So really good move there from the pair, or really good racing, I should say. So Windy now all over the back of David, and the Inaudible Gamer will want to get past, and actually we see the runo of Pixel, who has spun, and that's most likely his race out of the window, but the track does seem to be drying up, and knowing in multiplayer it does dry up quite quickly. So will we see the leader go for softs or mediums or whatever, or will he box next lap? No, he will box next lap. He will take the extra lap. However, that is a big risk because the track might clear up. So if anyone boxes now and does get the thing in favor, he will be, you know, definitely have a better advantage. But whoever's in last place there might actually Fox, if the conditions dry up by the time he enters the pits on this lap, he might be in a much better position. So the top, I guess from second place to fourth, we'll call it the top 4, seem to be very close to each other, heading into the second sector. There's still a lot of rain on the track actually, so take back what I said, I'm not the best strategist. Actually, we see Pixel going on to the hard compound tires. Those should take him to the end of this race, but now we will have to see, will he get grip with those tires? I don't think he will, but he will have the advantage of boxing earlier. But there still seems to be quite a bit of water on the circuit, so we will watch him now. Yeah, he is struggling. He's already seen him onto the grass. Actually, that's almost the Inaudible Gamer on a move on David, so you might see him get the move done here. Tech's actually not struggling too bad there. Those hard compound tires, they won't box. None of the leaders will box. The Inaudible Gamer really all over the back of David there. So let's go to Pixel, who's going the corner and gets his tire demolished. That will most likely be a safety car coming out. Will we see the VSC or safety car? I'd say most likely safety car, because that is blocking the whole entire track, and his wheel is off. So will we see the safety car up here? He's in the middle of the track now, so safety car, it's now or never, and also that car to get off the track is now or ever. Okay, thankfully he is not ghosted, and we don't get a safety car, so right. So we got a safety car last time because one guy spun heading into the World Champions, and there a guy is missing his tire completely, and we don't get a safety car, and it's also blocking the track. In real life, that'd be an immediate safety car and possibly even a red flag for the time being. So, yeah, we'll have to see exactly what happens. Will we see them box this lap for the softer compounds? No. But these two are still going at it. I'll say they most likely box in the next lap or the lap afterwards, if not. So the Inaudible Gamer now, will we see him go for a move? No. He wants to keep his ground. He knows that DRS might get a... Oh, he taps the back of David, pushing him just a bit wide. And we see, actually, that's Impact, number 21 there, going into the pits. Will most likely go on to the hard compound tires. Or it actually goes on the mediums. The mediums actually will take him to the end of this race quite easily, considering they're fresh. So it's either the hards or the mediums, I'd say. David lagging back. The Inaudible Gamer does want to get a move, and we see he is much quicker than David in the first and second sector, but the third sector, that's where at the hairpin he lacks a bit, because David, I presume, does have ABS turned off, and the Inaudible Gamer doesn't, as we see there. Ooh, the Inaudible Gamer will get a better run, I think. No, almost loses the back end there with the amount of wheel spin. So he is recharged. Whoa, okay, he's in him now. So the Inaudible Gamer should be able to see this move done, but I think they'll all be boxing this up. And actually, no. David gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So the Inaudible Gamer now going a lap extra on these intermediate tires. I don't think that was a good idea because there's now literally no rain on the track. Well, there is a tiny bit. We do see a bit of puddle splashes, but we'll have to see if that was worth it. I'd say probably for the first few seconds it would be worth it, but let's go on Ozone. Okay, no, he's still kind of struggling. They're both equally struggling, I'd say, but I think if someone's struggling more, it'd definitely be the Inaudible Gamer. Luckily, there are a few DRS straights here. So the Inaudible Gamer and GC Fungus, the last people to be on the intermediate compound tires. And Inaudible Gamer actually, or Ozone Ruthless has actually spun it. That's what I saw on the map. A Racing Point who's completely lost it. Did he lose a bit of his front wing? No, he did not. Okay, no, he's fine. So now he's just got to catch up on both David and Ingenio that have just passed him. And there's another yellow flag. No, that just seems to be a very delayed. So David now in the lead of this Grand Prix. So David now in a really, really good position. But we did see him, he did get a 5-second time penalty. So, really Riffle ruining his easy chances from getting P1 in this race. Just by that one simple spin. Actually, the Inaudible Gamer will come out ahead of Ozone, Rufel, and Ingenio. So, staying out that one extra lap on the intermediate did seem to work out. So, apologies if you're watching this after race and I doubted you, but now the Inaudible Gamer will be on fresh tires, I guess, the whole race compared to these guys who will be struggling a bit on their medium compound tires towards the end of the race. So the Inaudible Gamer and David in a really, really, really good position now. But Ruthful will get his podium that he so rightfully deserves. Windy currently just in P7 when it was P2, but got punted out first corner by Pixel, who has retired from the race. So Ruthful will want to set sights on his P2, which is only 3.8 seconds up the field, but he will be put under pressure as Ingenio now has DRS, will put overtake mode, and most likely will put Rich Mix. Please, Ingenio, if you're listening to this, don't go side by side heading into the wall of champion chicane. Thank God. So Ruthful will keep P3, and I think that'll be that. He actually gets a 3-second time penalty, so Ingenio now really struggling to not get time penalties, because I know he has quite a few time penalties under his belt. Oh, we actually see someone going side by side there heading into the wall of champions, and Luca has lost out quite a bit there because Polar Haze is now, they're going side by side, and there will almost be a 3 wide heading into turn 1, and that's actually Lewis Badminton who's punted the side of DS. So we're getting multiple warnings or penalties there at the bottom. So Lewis Badminton now with a broken left front and right front wing. So he will want to box this lap. Unless if he gets more damage, and we'll have to terminate the car, and he goes into a wall again. So Lewis Badminton really having a, well, you won't have any aerodynamics, so no straight line speed. And Polar Haze will want to get the move done as quickly as possible, not get stuck behind, especially here is end of sector 2. So Genio now already lost the gap to Ruthful, so Ruthful will want to catch up quickly as possible to David, who's actually sets the fastest lap, so he is quicker than David by 2 seconds, which is there at least. And actually, wait, hold on, Windy seems to be up on these guys' tail as he sets the fastest lap as well. So once again, the 2 racing points seems to be mighty quick here. Actually, yeah, Lewis Badminton going into the pits after the little shunt incident. actually going purple, heading to the first sector. He's already caught up the Inaudible Gamer. He's already reduced his 3 seconds there to 1. But he will have the quicker tire advantage for the first 10 laps. Then afterwards, it will be all down to drivers, I guess, towards the end. Inaudible Gamer, not struggling. He's just doing too well on these these hard compound tires. David with the fastest lap with a 1 minute 12.6. Ozone, purple sectors all over the place. He sets a 1 minute 13 point. Actually, no, he sets the fastest lap with a 1 minute 12.5. So he's a tenth quicker than David there on that lap. Inaudible Gamer seems to be losing touch with David every single lap. So the Inaudible Gamer now will most likely lose that P2 position and will most likely go down all the way to P4. And it's actually Lucas sets the fastest lap with a 1 minute 11.1, and there's a really nice switchback there from Windy on the back of Yasin. It's a really good move if he manages to make it stick, and he does. So beautiful move there from Windy. Now he will want to set his sights on P4 and potentially P3. Now these two will be promoted once he pass the Inaudible Gamer, which should be pretty easy. Still hasn't caught up yet. And Ozone not using DRS for some reason, or it could just be a glitch. Okay, there surely he must have DRS. Oh no, he did open DRS. So the Inaudible Gamer will most likely lose his P2 position, potentially even at the first sector or end second sector, or if anything at the back straight. So Ruthful braking quite later than the Inaudible Gamer. Will we see him go for a dive bomb here? No. Does lock up though the Inaudible Gamer. Will we see a switch back like his teammate didn't know, but he will have DRS. He keeps it in none though. So will we see him? Ooh. And gets the move done on the Inaudible Gamer, who's forced to let that position slide and might actually lose his P3 now. So Ingenio at the next hairpin and does. So very bad news here for the Inaudible Gamer. Now he's just gotta hopefully stick with him with the DRS. He will have the tire advantage at the end of the race, having the less worn tires obviously with the hards. But now we just gotta hope that he manages to stick with these guys for as long as they can. So Ozone 8 seconds behind David now. So even if he does manage to get a few tenths off him every lap, there won't be enough to win the race. So Ruthful already gaining by quite a bit there, as you can see in the top left. It was just 8.3, now 37.7. He will almost gain a second on David, so his spin won't matter too much if he does manage to catch up. This is a yellow flag, sector 1, and actually that's DS, who has retired from the session. There's a safety car as well, so David now really in trouble. So will we see a strategy change from these drivers? Will we see GC Fungus and the Inaudible Gamer, who are on the hard compound tires, switch to the mediums, or will they stick on the same strategy? That we will have to find out. Two people in front of them do box, and he follows behind. I'd say they most likely will hop onto fresher mediums, or if they really want to risk it, go onto these soft compound tires. So do we see Ingenio going on mediums, Ozone going on the mediums as oh, Ozone's getting held up, and the Inaudible Gamer forced to get held up as well. Oh no. Oh no, the Windy was getting held up and actually blocked the Inaudible Gamer in his path, but it's fine. He will manage to get P3. So right now, Ozone is in. Well, he has 7 lap hards. Wait, what? Mediums. Those look fresh to me. Right, okay, probably just a visual glitch there on the left. So David will be put under immense pressure now by Ruthful, who was quicker by almost, as we saw, a second a lap, and now he's just practically reduced that to 4/10. So there will be roughly 14 laps left of this Canadian Grand Prix. We'll most likely want to get the better of him. Huh. This will be very interesting to see what happens after all this. Safety car will come in next lap, heading into lap 21, where there will be 14 laps left of this race. So Windy now, whoa, almost hits the back of David there. Kind of got me startled there a tiny bit. Not going to lie. Futuristic boxed for the mediums there. Didn't lose much time, but did lose quite a few places. So right now I'm putting my money. No, I won't be doing bets, but from what I just saw, Ingenio seemed pretty quick. So did Ruthful. The Audible Gamer, now that he's on the medium compound tires and is even with all these other fellas, I think he might be in contention as well, because he was pretty quick and we did see him do overtakes on the intermediate tires. So we'll have to see what exactly happens. Don't want to do any bets. So the safety car will be in this lap. I can call it. Yep. Safety car definitely in this lap. So David now will have the role of holding everyone up. It's the fun role of being the leader. Hold everyone up at your own pace. Everyone warming the tires there behind him. Ooh, David did not manage to catch out anyone else. Ruthful getting pretty even exit there with David. Has already left the Inaudible Gamer and everyone else in the dust, as we can see. The Inaudible Gamer actually, never mind, he's all over the back of these two. Not all over the back, but you know, he's behind them. So no yellow flags just yet. No one's killed themselves, as I see two dots going side by side there, heading into turns 3 and 4. So no one's spun. It's a pretty clean restart. 16 of the 20 drivers still remaining. Ruthful will definitely want to get past David as soon as possible so he can create a gap. Because from what I know, Ruthful does not have a time penalty. Does not go for the dive bomb. But as we see in the mirrors there of Ruthful, the Audible Gamer outbraked himself quite a bit, and Maple gets the move done on KK Hunter there, heading into the back straight. Ooh, and actually we see Yasin going to go side by side with these two. That doesn't go well, and he does get a time penalty there for cutting the corner. We see Ingenio going on a move for the Inaudible Gamer now, currently under pressure by Ingenio. So the Inaudible Gamer will be demoted down into P4, but I'm sure that's not the last we'll see of the Inaudible Gamer. No. The time penalty is up ahead. He most likely has the time penalty. But Windy has left the session in P5. I don't know if I have him. Let me try and see if I can invite him. I don't have him. So Windy has pulled off a disconnect, and that will allow Yes and GC Fungus and all these trainer cars to most likely overtake him. It's very unfortunate for him. I'll have to see him rejoin eventually. Yeah, it's Windy going down the order quickly as whatever you want to call it. Whoa, he almost hits the wall there to the left. David going really quickly there, but not getting the best of exits. Ozone, well, DRS will be enabled, yes. So, David currently being put under immense pressure there from Ruthful, but he manages to keep his head down and keep racing. Does he have a lot of ERS to play with? He does, so he's managing it quite well, even though he's got a raging racing points behind him. So Ruthful will want to grab the win this race after what happened to him last time, getting that 3-second time penalty and losing the win to his teammate. But David now will be disappointed because with DRS assistance, Ruthful should get this move done in Sector 3. Now breaks himself quite a bit, but does not hit. We'll get a much better run on David, who actually taps the wall there on exit. But we'll get faster top speed at the end. But Ozone will have quicker acceleration, and we should see him get the move done. He will sneak the inside line as much as he possibly can. He will go side by side heading into the Wallet Champions Car. David gets a 3-second time penalty. That's not what you want to see there, David. So David now most likely out of contention if Ruthful does not have a time penalty, because I did not check. So Ingenio now all over the back of David, and the Inaudible Gamer will hope to catch up as soon as he possibly can. So Ruthful is already having a 7th, 10th gap to second place, so he is pretty quick here. He does have the fastest lap, I think. Don't keep my word on that. Could be Luca. Speaking of Luca, he's in P6 now. I couldn't find him. I thought he retired from the race. It's pretty intense there. Windy, who still didn't manage to reconnect, is out of the points now. That should be everyone promoted up one place. So that's happy days for everyone else. So Fox actually, interestingly, did not box for mediums. Everyone's in order to Lewis. He didn't he didn't change any compounds. Whoa! Ingenio goes wide there, but manages to break a bit. So David's still managing to keep within a second, just barely. Ozone getting a fastest lap with a 1:11.010. It's a really competitive lap. The Inaudible Gamer getting a 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. He is losing touch with this top 3, the Inaudible Gamer, sadly. I rooted for the Inaudible Gamer, man. If you're watching this, you disappointed me. It's a joke. I don't like the Ferrari engine too much because lets you rev down too much. It's literally ear rape. I just go basically that. Yeah, perfect representation there. Is he within the DRS range, David? No, he is not. Although he is 9/10 behind, he will have a slipstream, and that's just about all you can get right now. On the map, the Inaudible Gamer actually being put under pressure by Yasin, and Yasin will get the move done on the Inaudible Gamer. Actually, Ozone Ruthful gets a 3-second time penalty, so I'm locked on penalties now. But there's a chance that, well, I mean, I presume everyone's got a time penalty there with all these time penalties I'm getting at the bottom. So that final grid order there on the left will not be the same. I can guarantee you that much. But David has gained quite a bit, and he will have DRS here. He is running out of ERS though. So is everyone else. So he will go overtake mode, even though he will go in the orange. No, he won't. So Lewis Badminton actually boxed for the soft compound tires. hoping for a safety car now might save Lewis Hamilton's pit stop choice. So, he will have DRS, David. He will only put it into high though because he won't have enough ERS. He's already running out of ERS and going into medium, going into low, going into none. Cuts that corner there and taps. Is that front wing damage? For the inaudible gamer, is that front wing damage? No, it isn't. He got really lucky there because he did punt that wall, and the inaudible gamer does go into the pits for, I presume, what will be the soft compound tires. Try and settle up, and Windy has rejoined in P15. And if you check on the map there, he's out of this race, I'd say. Sorry, Windy, but yeah, that happened. So Ozone currently leading the pack there quite dominantly. Actually, we see the Ferrari there looking up on Ingenio. We might see something happen there last lap or last few laps. Everyone's just dropped a position there on the left. That's great. Might want to change that a bit. So tires will get rid of that. Get rid of all that. So get to leader. So where is Windy's in P1? What? Windy's in P1. Right. Okay, game. Windy is in P1. I really hope that's just a glitch because there'll be no way of overtaking him because he's kind of lapping everyone now. He's 30 seconds behind Windy. Confusing scenes we have here, but Ozone is in P1 as far as I know. That list there on the left is not true at all. So David's in P2 and well, everyone -1, I guess. So David's, I'd say, contention for P1 now is gone because he is losing quite a bit of time, and Ingenio now, meanwhile, has gained quite a bit on David. So we will see him hopefully hopefully for him, get the move done here in this back straight. So here we are. Ingenio looking at the inside, won't go for a move, luckily. We'll break later though, and we'll hope to see David get a poor exit. No, he gets a really good exit, David there. Gets a really good run as well, passing the wall of champions as we head into these corners. David going wide there, losing the back end quite a bit. Ingenio will want to catch up as soon as he can. And actually, hold on, we see the two sister teams once again going side by side here, heading into turn 1. They do touch tires quite a bit there, but everything is okay. Max Verstappen gets past his old teammate Pierre Gasly here. It's a nice switchback there. The inaudible gamer saying he passes that, not by much, but he does pass that. He will want to get that extra point. Or he's not in the top 10, so he won't get an extra point actually. So Ingenio will want to, hopefully for him, as I said, get the move done on this back straight. He does have plenty of ERS. He will want to utilize as much of it as he can. Most likely go rich mix and overtake mode. So David's really just a sitting duck here, heading into the Wall of Champions corner as David moves to the inside line, and Ingenio will stick and cut that corner. Not get a time penalty though, will most likely get a better run and a warning as a result. Will he go for a big boy dive bomb here into turn 1? Yes, he does, and David almost turns it completely on him, and this has allowed Yasin to get in the mix for a potential P3 or even provisional P4. So these two battling meant that he can catch up quite a bit, and actually Luca's lurking around the back corner of this 4. Actually, Yasin all over the back of Ingenio now will get DRS. He's almost at 100% ERS. So David really now in big trouble, and he seems to be quicker than Ingenio, so he does have a better straight line speed, that Ferrari, than the Red Bull and his teammate. So Ingenio will most likely get overtaken here by Yasin, who will go for a dive bomb here, heading into turn 1 and almost taps his teammate, and they touch tires there, the Renault and the Ferrari. That was a really poor move there from Yasin, but he will get the better run, and David will be able to run free, and they both have DRS, so it will be basically a drag race heading into the final turn. They will go side by side, though. That's never a good thing here, and they touch, and a lot of carnage has happened. But yes, Ingenio has lost the position to Yasin, and Luca now behind these guys in real contention. So that was a pretty, I guess, pump out your shoulders move there. Yasin gets a he corner cutted and gets a warning for it, but doesn't give the position back. So now he's been given a 5-second time penalty for it. Sorry if I laughed, but it's just a lot of things are happening at once here, and I can't really cope up. But there are 3 more laps of this Grand Prix. Anything really can happen. Yes, and all over the back of his teammate, but I'm almost 100% sure Yasin won't stay in that position because of all the time penalties he has. So Ruthful, who is in P2 now, which is not true, he's in P1, might finish P2 because of this. So David now will lose his P3 to his teammate Yasin heading into the final corner. Pretty easy move there. Will want to get back in the slipstream as quickly as he can. Cuts that corner, and David with a 3-second time penalty once again. So Ingenio will want to get back at it, and Luca's actually pretty close as well. So there's a yellow flag. I'm not sure what the yellow flag is for, but it seems to be cleared up now. Ooh, David gets a really bad run, and Ingenio all over the back of these guys. And I think it's a Mercedes there. Seems to be going awfully slow there. There's no yellow flag indicator on the map. Oh, Sector 3. It is GC. What? Who's that other Mercedes there, bottom right? Is that Lewis Badminton? Hey, let's go to Ozone. Oh, he's gone. But okay, that happened. So I think Lewis Badminton's ghost was still on the track. I don't understand why that was a thing, but it is. Ingenio will hopefully get for him P4 heading into Sector 3. They will both have DRS. Ingenio seems to be getting seemed to gotten the better run, and doesn't have DRS David, so he will get this move done, Ingenio. And now hopefully we'll want to get his P3 as he gets a really bad run, and David completely brushes the back end, and that's actually some front wing damage, and Luca coming in from nowhere to seek and to claim P5. So Luca does have quite a lot of time penalties, so I doubt he'll be your final race leader. But actually, as we see Windy round up the final corner, will we see that on the top left change to lap 34? We do, so the game actually does really think that Windy is in P1. So really unfortunate for the actual leaders there, Ozone. So Ozone is in the lead, but that will most likely get changed in the standings afterwards, don't worry. So Luca will want to get P4 with some extra points at the end of the day. We will have DRS, and Ingenio will as well. He will not actually have DRS, Ingenio, he is too far behind. As the leader rounds up the final lap, because the game thinks well, Windy's the leader, and since Windy is a lap ahead, by the time Ozone finishes, Windy will have finished the final lap. So we'll have to see here exactly what happens. The yellow flag, Sector 3. That's actually Toro Rosso of future Paximanda, actually, who has lost it there at the final corner. Around the final lap there, Windy is on his final lap. So that will mean Ozone will be the winner of the, I was about to say German Grand Prix, I don't know why, the Canadian Grand Prix. So we'll have to see. Very confusing what's happening. Actually, that's Impact, who has spun and who's into the wall. That's the last place for Impact. Very unfortunate for him. Very unfortunate indeed. So as Ozone rounds up the final corner, will cross the line P1, but won't be able to finish his lap before the P1 leader of Windy snatches it from him. Don't really understand what happened there too much. Windy, I don't know exactly what position he should be in, but he is in front. He should be in P11. Yeah, he should be in P11 now. And Windy crosses the line to take P1, which is not true. Don't worry, guys. But he does finish P11 in the standings. Everyone behind him actually finishes, so he won't get another lap in. Eyeball Gamer has left the session. So Ozone, who is your rightful winner, don't worry, will finish in P1 after starting P1, getting a really decent start. Sadly, Windy, who gets completely punted out by Pixel, who has retired, has finished and ruined his race. But Ozone doesn't care and will finish in P1 in this race. Yes, and finishing P3. Ingenio actually getting his P3 that he deserved. David crossing line P6, GC Fungus P7. Polar Haze will come across the line slowly but surely. Pretty sure he has front wing damage. Yeah, he does. Going into P8. Fox coming across the line P9. Maple P8 actually gets promoted. And Futuristic gets promoted into P10. So that's really cool for them. Right, so that was your race. The final standings aren't what they say in game, but it's Ozone Ruthful who wins the race alongside Ingenio and Yasin to round up the top three. Then Luca, David, GC Fungus, SOR Maple, Polar Haze, Futuristic, Fox, KK Hunter, and the Inaudible Gamer, and Paxi Manda, and Impact, and Lewis Badminton finishing in last place. I know Lewis Badminton actually didn't finish. He retired. Sorry. Right, so we'll see if we get any interviews. Let's switch to the interview screen. So I'll ask if anyone wants to do a, you know, so ask if anyone wants to do an interview. So pull up the standings so we don't mess up. So it doesn't seem anyone wants to do an interview from what I could tell. Right, so we won't have any interviews then, I guess. So that's going to be, it's going to be the SOR F1 2019 Split 1 race. So thank you all very much for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next week in, where is it? Is it in France? Yeah, it's in France. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you around. Bye bye.